He doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. Why? You should see their face when I walk in the room. Maybe they got a stomach pain. Do you smile when your stomach's sore? You don't know that they pull the face for you? I know. How do you know? No, because I know. Did you ask him? No. All suspicious there, eh? Not trusting anyone. Why? Because you've got to cover your own back because you don't trust the Lord.
This is the Active Church. To God be the glory.
The Israelites are coming to God and they're saying, why have we fasted and you have not seen? Why have we afflicted our souls and you take no notice? So yeah, these guys, they're even fasting. Some of us didn't even fast. We carried on eating in January as if it was December. The 21-day fast was a 21-day blast. And we were having fun and eating cream cakes and cheese all over the place. We were stuffing our faces like it's going out of fashion. But maybe we fasted. And things haven't quite happened the way we thought they might. God says, never mind if you don't fast, okay, you won't get anything. But if you don't do my fast, then that fast's not going to be worth anything to you. First of all, if you fast for the wrong purpose, there's going to be an issue. Why do we fast? We fast to change. When we normally pray and fast, we want other people to change. But we fast and we pray so that we can change. What is the fast that the Lord has chosen? What is the fast that the Lord, when we fast, what is the fast that He wants us to do? He wants us to bring freedom to people. It's a spiritual freedom. In Isaiah 58, verse 6, it says, is this not the kind of fasting I've chosen, to loose the chains of injustice and untie the cords of the yoke, to set the oppressed free and break every yoke? How do you break every yoke? Well, the only way that you do that is when you preach the gospel. When you tell them about Jesus. People are in chains. They are chained up. They are locked up. And when you preach the gospel to them, you break those chains if they receive Jesus. And so when you're fasting, you go out and you preach to people. And you get energized by Jesus. Because the Father in heaven energized Jesus when He went and He preached when He was tired and hungry. He will energize you when you do that. The second thing we saw was that the fast that the Lord wants is where we're giving to people. We're giving to people that are poorer than ourselves. We're meeting their needs. The third thing we saw was when you sow your life into people, emotional. This is where you disciple people. Discipleship is messy, but you're prepared to get involved in their lives. You're not just living for yourself. I want you all to listen to me. When you're discipling people, it gets messy. I often say, sometimes I think people think that I enjoy hearing all the juicy bits about people's lives. It's not fun. It's not fun listening about people's messes. So why do you do it? Because God touches you when you're helping other people out. When you're speaking into their lives, He helps you in your life. When you're fasting and you're discipling others, He empowers you. He enriches you. And so today, what I want us to look at is the results of fasting. This is the when we fast, then God will do things principle. And by the way, all of this you can find in Isaiah 58. I really encourage you to go and read it afterwards. But when we fast and we do the Lord's fast, then certain things will happen and God will do certain things. He's made a promise here. When we fast God's way, then we realize some benefits. So what I want you to realize as you're sitting here today, there are benefits to fasting. There are big benefits to fasting. If you're not doing it, it's because you don't know what the benefits are. Let me tell you, if you knew the benefits, you'd fast. You'd pray. Firstly, fasting leads to spiritual insight. Isaiah 58 verse 8. Then the light will break forth like the dawn. In other words, when you fast, you start changing, and now you start developing the ability to see things through God's eyes. You start seeing things the way God sees them. You start getting insight. When things are happening to you, it goes from, oh no, why me? Why always me? Why me? All of a sudden you get insight, you go, how could I be so stupid? Oh Lord, forgive me for being so stupid. 3 weeks ago, I'm saying, why me? Now I'm saying, shucks, I'm stupid. Because now I know why. I have insight. Now when you have spiritual insight, you get to a situation where you're able to move from living life with a victim mentality, where you're always complaining about what people have done to you, to a victor mentality. From a South Africa's finished mentality, from a I'm always going to be poor mentality, from a I'm always going to be single mentality, from an I'm always going to be in an unhappy marriage mentality, whatever mentality you go from there to a mentality that says, powerful, mighty God. You hold everything in your hands. Jesus, my Savior, now and forever. I love. You go from this to this. Who's happier? Who's happier? And this happens when you minister to others. I want to tell you, some of you that are sitting here today, you're making dumb decisions. And you make dumb decisions because you process wrong, because you won't minister to the poor. But I'm poor. Looking at all the outfits, nah. There's people poorer than you. There are people that are worse off than you. Yeah, you guys, you're all fashion kings and queens here. I'm looking. You've been listening to Boneka Show on Active FM. There's people poorer than you. There's people who can't afford what you're wearing right now. You go and you minister to them, you get insight. While you're fasting, you're able to get insight and make better decisions. Stop making dumb decisions. Fasting, the Lord's way, leads to healing. Psalm 58 verse 8. And your healing will quickly appear. You are healed when you minister to others. Sometimes you're praying for someone else and you're sick. God heals you when you prepare to do that. You prepare to not put yourself first. Number 3, fasting leads to righteousness. Isaiah 58 verse 8. Then your righteousness will go before you, and the glory of the Lord will be your rear guard. What this means is God's got your back. How many of you are walking around the whole time and you keep checking your back? You better watch him, eh? You better watch him. You better watch him. This guy Paul comes out, thinks he's all that, eh? Playing the drums. Dressed like black pants and a black tie. Don't they normally wear that at a funeral? That's like, I don't trust him, eh? Check out hairstyle. He's got this flame thing now on his hair. Don't know what's going on there. Something's going on. Or something. I'm telling you, something's going on, eh? Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but something's going on. Huh? He doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. Why? You should see their face when I walk in the room. Maybe they got a stomach pain. Do you smile when your stomach's sore? You don't know that they pull the face for you. I know. How do you know? No, because I know. Did you ask him? No. All suspicious there, eh? Not trusting anyone. Why? Because you've got to cover your own back because you don't trust the Lord. You've got to watch out for yourself. You've got to protect. Yes, there's so many of you here. Feeling under pressure here. You're all suspicious. When the Lord is protecting you, so say now someone comes against you like Judas, and they're out to get you. Or the Lord's protecting me. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to respond the way they're responding because I trust the Lord in the situation, and I trust that no weapon that is formed against me will prosper because the Lord's got my back because I'm fasting. and His righteousness goes before me. And by the way, even if I'm the one that does something stupid, He covers it. He sorts it out. When you're married, believe me, you need some covering to happen. You need the Lord to cover up some of your stupid things. And so we no longer need to be suspicious because God's got this. And so some of us, we just think people are out there to get you. People aren't out there to get you. If you think that everyone's out there to get you, you think you're way more important than what you are. You're just in the way. There's something they want and you're in the way, and they prepare to walk all over you to get what they want. It's just about them. It's not about you. You just have something that they have. And so now they prepare to fight you for it. They're selfish. When you're selfish, you do the same thing. So, it's not that they hate you, it's just that they love themselves. If you're always fearful and suspicious, you will make wrong decisions. You will cut people out of your life that you shouldn't cut. You will cut your best friend out of your life, and you will go there and you'll put your arm around your worst enemy and then cry when they stab you. Number 4, fasting leads to answered prayer. Isaiah 58 verse 9, then you will call on the Lord and He will answer. And you will cry for help and He will say, here I am. If the Lord doesn't seem like He's answering your prayers, something needs to change. 1 John 5:14, and we are confident that He hears us whenever we ask for anything that pleases Him. And since we know He hears us when we make our requests, we also know that He will give us what we ask for. There's a promise here. When we make a request of God for anything that pleases Him, He answers us. How do I know if it pleases Him? I know His will. For starters, I've got to know the Word. So fasting leads to answered prayer, and fasting leads to influence. Isaiah 58 verse 10, when your light will rise in the darkness, and your light will become like the noonday. People look at you, they follow you, they go to your light. If you're complaining that no one ever listens to you, fast and pray and change. Because the power of God will give you influence. Fasting leads to God's guidance. Isaiah 58 verse 11, the Lord will guide you always. He tells you which step to take. How many of us need His guidance? Number 7, fasting leads to God's provision. Isaiah 58 verse 11, He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame, and you will be a well-watered garden like a spring whose waters never fail. What this is promising is prosperity in every area of your life, every facet of your life. A sun-scorched land is a land where there's drought. It's a land today where the economy is crashing. It's a land where, because of decisions the government's taken, there's not much money. Or there's a lot of money, but things are so expensive, it doesn't matter how much money you got. And yeah, He promises to provide in the middle of a famine. Vicky read a prophecy to me last night. I know Jacob Zuma and the oaks around him, they have this evil plan to rip South Africa of all of its wealth and give it to the Chinese. And they are raping the country and destroying it. And I said to her, that's not a prophecy. It's in the news. Tuli Madonsela, who was the public protector, she put a whole report out about this. And now they're trying to cut all her money off because they don't like the fact that she exposed. It's not a prophecy. Someone who tells me that, no, it's not a prophecy, you're just telling me the news. The issue is, what does God promise? Even if that's true, even if that's what they're doing. By the way, I never said that, so don't put that on me. I'm just telling you what someone said. They claim to be a prophet. What I'm saying to you is, even if it's true, even if everything this prophet said is true, what does God promise you? That you will be provided for in a sun-scorched land. That He will provide what you need. That He will strengthen your frame. Your frame is your body. You'll be strengthened to your frame. That is your skeleton. To your bones. You will get healed. And you will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. In other words, people will come into contact with you with you, and they will be inspired. They will be lifted up. They will leave your presence thinking, I can do it. What is the opposite of this? You become a leech, a blood-sucking leech. Every time people are around you, they are so down. You're telling them how things are so bad. You're telling them about all the stuff that is so terrible. Maybe even spiritual, you're coming with prophecies. I prophesy. You better watch out because Satanists live next door to your house and they're cursing you. Thus saith the Lord. You'll be the opposite of that. You'll lift people up. People want to be around you. Fasting leads to a godly heritage. Number 8. Isaiah 58 verse 12. Those from among you shall build the old waste places. You shall raise up foundations of many generations. You'll set a solid foundation for future generations. Future generations will prosper because of you. They will be blessed because of you. You will set their feet on a solid rock and they'll be able to go forward. Number 9, fasting leads to joy. Isaiah 58 verse 13 and 14. Then you will find your joy in the Lord. This is called living in joy. You have joy on the inside the whole time. You are filled with joy. Come on, don't you want to live a life where you are filled with joy all the time? No matter what your circumstances are, no matter what people might have done to you, no matter what state you're in financially, no matter whether your husband or your wife is the devil himself or herself if it's the wife, you will be filled with joy. If you're not filled with joy, then something needs to change. And if your husband or wife is the devil and you're not filled with joy, you probably need to change, and you're probably part of the reason they got the devil in them. You put some of the devil in there. Then you change. You change. Tell the person next to you, we need to change. Number 10, fasting leads to blessing. I don't fast and suffer not eating for nothing. It leads to blessing. Isaiah 58:14. And I will cause you to ride on the heights of the land and to feast on the inheritance of your father Jacob. The mouth of the Lord has spoken. In other words, we conquer in every area of life. In every single area of our lives, we conquer. We conquer every day of your life. Come on, Active Church. Do you want to conquer in 2017? I just want to say a couple of things quickly. So the young people, what are many of you walking around? Oh, I wish I could find someone to love and to love me back. I know they're laughing because that's them. It's always the guys who act like they don't want it. The guys are always so cool. No, we don't want it. We're not romantic. No. Notice there, I don't want that. But when that beautiful girl walks past, just all of a sudden that I don't want it goes, and then you go, and now? And now? I've hit on a raw nerve here, I'm telling you that right now. What I'm telling you is this. You go after all of these things that you want. You think about all of the stuff that you want. And you think, I'm going to chase after this, that beautiful person, that handsome person, whatever. Listen to me. If you want 2017 to be successful, let God choose. Because if you don't let God choose, you're going to get hurt. You will get hurt. You will get so hurt. I can't even tell you how hurt you will be. Let God decide. But believe that every area will conquer. So I want to encourage you to fast regularly this year. That's the last time I'm going to say it. But the thing is that in terms of this, I'm going to be fasting 3 days a month. I told you guys. I'm not going to tell you which 3 days. You'll know that I'm fasting the week before the camp. And I'll fast before J Activation. There'll be some other times as well. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you this again. I'm just telling you this so that you can follow my example and do what I'm doing. Because fasting leads to blessing. Fast because you want to change. Fast because you want to change. Because when I change, everything changes. When I change, everything changes.
Voice like a trumpet, I'm not holding back, no, no. I'm eager to know your ways. You're the God of justice. Your light breaks forth like a dawn. Let your